everybody, welcome back to another video, and here is something a little bit different, and it's a little part of a project for my Wars of the Roses that I've been looking forward to doing for quite a long time. So this is a little bit of end of 2021, getting into 2022, end of the Kingmaker project, round off, way to round it all off. So you'll know if you've watched my battles, if you watch my history videos, that I've always talked about sieges and how much I want to do them. My problem is I've really struggled to find a castle that basically fits the bill. I've looked at 3D printed ones, I've looked at fantasy ones, I've looked at building my own, and then, you know, the time that takes. What I decided I needed was a castle that was generic enough that I could then build off of that. So half the job had already been done for me. And I decided on the tabletop workshop set, which was sold by North Star Games. Now, I've done some tabletop workshop scenery before. You'll have seen it in the battle reports. I've done a video which I'll post up here on the chapel, which I did. And I like their kits. They're very just good solid kit, so I'm keen to get into this. So on the Christmas list, I basically added a few things, and Hayley was very kind enough to get them for me. I'm not entirely sure she realised quite what this was going to mean, but I thought what I would do is create a sort of a mini project log for this. This is going to be the first part, obviously, and this would chart me putting the pieces together, a mini review of the kits, and just looking at what you get and what I've got for my money, or for Hayley's money rather. The next video I will look at painting and how I'm going to go about basically getting all of those textures and colours and everything onto here that I want. And then there'll be another video on about the sort of kit bashes and additions and things that I'm going to do to really make this kit my own. So I'm planning on 3 videos, and I'm going to try and put them out in fairly quick succession, because I want to get this on the table, and I want to get some figures on it, and I want to get it garrisoned as soon as possible. So we'll just get started. Okay, so here you can see the packs that I got for for Christmas. So we have one Fortified Wall Gate, we have 2 standard Fortified Wall sections, and 2 Fortified Towers as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to crack open the wall section first of all, and we'll take a look at it, have a look at the sprues, and get it stuck together. Okay, let's have a look. So, comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. And you can see that the instructions are on the back here. Now, on the back it says that you only get enough to make the 2 sections here and the battlement. However, I've done a bit of a count, and I think you actually get more than that. You've got 3 sets of the walls and the bases that go within those. The battlement part is separate, so you could build these 3 high, or presumably you could make the first run of a new tower. So as I've got 2 sets, I should be able to make 3 wall sections. With this kit, I'm going to be able to, so if I can make 3 wall sections out of this, I think that's going to be about 1.5 feet long of straight wall, so that's quite cool. But anyway, let's get, I'm going to basically get this stuck together, and let's have a look. Okay, so there is a completed section of wall that is 2 levels high, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Now, let's have a look. So something I didn't realise was this comes with interior detail. So you can see the flagstones in there if you want to paint them. And I wasn't too sure about the locking mechanism, but as you can see, you glue these connectors onto the base of the floor above, and then it slots quite nicely into these holes here, giving you your double aligned wall. Now, as I said before, you could then just do this and have, you know, your wall that is too high, or you could use the other piece and make it 3 levels high. Now, I've just started sticking this other bit together, which is why it's not gonna look quite right. So you could, if I just swap this around, so you could have it this high. So that's pretty big, but quite cool. Now, I've decided not to do that, and I'm going to create another base level so I can have a longer wall. However, I've just realized, so at the bottom, you probably have seen, you can see that the wall on this side is flared out at the bottom, as it's the base of the wall, and that's where the foundations are. So you've got this flaring out. Now, these plates are individual. However, you don't have enough to complete another full run of these in the set. So you get 6 altogether in the set, but then if you've got 2 sets, you'll be able to make the other one. So what I'm going to do is, once I've got the other pack open and put together, I'll be able to glue on the other sets. I can't find the other piece at the moment. It is here. There's a lot of plastic kicking around. So this, the extra bits from this box have made the extra base level. The extra bits from the next box will finish the 2 panels I need here, and will then add the next level with the next battlement. So and plus 1 more piece of wall. So there we are with the wall. Very happy with that. Right, just to say one more thing, actually, I've just realized you get these extra pieces in the kit that look like this, and I was trying to work out what they're for, and I could have just looked at the instructions, I realized, but these are connectors to lock these separate walls together. So you've got this extra run here. Place that side by side with the bit you want to lock it to. So if you leave these, there we go, and you can just leave those out, and now you've got, awesome. I'm just really pleased about that. So yeah, you've got this whole section connected, so I'll be able to do that the whole way along. So I'm going to have to clip all these pieces out, put them in a bag and make sure I keep them. Very cool. Lots of things I didn't realise with this kit. Anyway, back to cracking on. We'll get on with one of the towers. Right, so here's the tower kit, and much like the wall kit, the instructions are on the back, and let's take a look. So we have 3 sprues with 3 base plates in, doors and walls. I could already tell straight away that these are the base walls, because you've got that flaring out again for where the foundation would be. And then you have 3 the same here, more walls, and then battlements for the top. Okay, so that looks fairly straightforward. What I should say with this one is, now you must forgive me, I've already clipped out a bit here. You can get these connectors. Now these are available separately, and when you grab these, this makes it so you can connect these to the walls like the ones we've just made. If you don't have these, then it just makes a watchtower, which is still pretty cool. You can just have a watchtower on the battlefield. But if you grab these, you can replace some of these wall segments, and then they'll connect up to the walls. As you can see up here, look, you've got a connection for where the battlement is going to go. So I've just got to decide on the angles that I want everything. Now I did notice on the back here, yes, there we go. So they put a little chart together here for you, so you can either have it at a 90 degree, 180, so it's just, a tower along the run of the wall, or 120 degrees. But I'm gonna have a little bit of a play around, and then we'll see. So what I'll do, the same as before, I'll assemble part of the tower, and then we'll come back when the whole thing is completed. Right then, that's completed. Here is the completed tower. Very nice, very pleased. I might actually have to get a couple more of these just to use as single watchtowers in other games, but really nice kit, goes together really well. Lots of little extras like the door down here that you can stick on so there's like an access to it, and these extra panels here to allow it to connect to the castle walls. It couldn't be easier really to use. Everything's nice and sturdy, and you can see each of the levels has these pins here which line up with these holes here, so it slots together. So in your game, if you knock it, the whole thing's not gonna, you know, go over, you know, the level's not gonna knock off. And then when you've got the castle walls on here as well, I presume they just clip in. In fact, let's have a look. Hang on a second. Let's take that off. So yeah, connector goes there. Just click into place. Drop the battlement on. There we go. How cool is that? Excellent. You could buy other tower kits and obviously add some levels. Another tower kit would let you add 2 more levels onto a tower. Might be a bit high, and you probably have to deal with the fact again you've got the sort of the foundation base. I've been left with plenty of spares from that, so I might be able to make a damaged tower or something like that. Maybe I could pull one of these out and then pop a level in. Anyway, there is the tower. So I'm going to get the other tower built. The walls are all built, and then we'll have a look at the gatehouse, and then yeah, just see where we are. Finally, we have the Fortified Wall gate. Now, just a quick look at the instructions on the back. It seems like this is going to be very similar to the wall. The Fortified. Oh, this one actually has an instruction leaflet in it. So it looks like we have to assemble the 2 sides, then put the gate in without gluing it, so that can pivot. Okay. Oh well, you've seen the other bits already, so this looks pretty straightforward, so I guess we'll just crack on. And this is the finished Fortified Wall gate. Now, this was slightly trickier to put together than the other sets, but that's only because, or basically of the gate, which you don't glue, so you can leave it so it opens. The top is exactly the same. The only thing with this one, which is a little bit weird and possibly something I'm going to have to deal with, is that these 2 sections are separate, which you can lock in because it's got the same locking mechanism as the other parts of the wall using the slider. So you can lock that to another part of the wall. Gate is quite loose, which isn't too much of a problem, but just a knock on the table will open that. So I might put a magnet in there just to keep that shut. I have considered maybe I'll glue this on to keep that solid, but we'll see. I'm just going to put this aside to dry, and we'll assemble all of the pieces together and we'll have a look at the whole thing completed. Right, so I've put together a bit of a layout, and I'm not using my gimbal here, so I apologise for the shaky cam, but I've managed to put together something using all of the parts that I've just put together, and here we are. So, as you can see, I've got quite a nice layout that will take in a corner of a board very nicely. Now, I also apologise, you don't normally see all these different parts of my desk, and it's not very tidy, so I apologise, it's all work in progress, but I just want to show you some of the things that I've done. So remember, this is from 5 boxes, so the 2 towers, 2 wall kits, which actually makes 3 walls, and also the gatehouse. And there is a whole bag, which I'll put in there, of extras, which we've got curved wall sections, long wall sections. I'm sure I can make some things out of that, potentially even I'm going to have a look at making some destroyed wall sections. Now, you might notice that this tower here is taller than this one. That is because, if I just take this off, I used some of the spare wall sections and just created another level. Now, obviously, it doesn't have that base plate in it, but I felt that just for, you know, aesthetics and to look cool, it didn't matter. So what I did was I just popped some pins in, and then I drilled some holes. And when you line it up, I'm not going to be able to get it lined up now because I'm doing it one-handed. There we go. It then sits in there. So there we go. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reattach this to the hook, and then just talk about sort of my final thoughts on this part of the project. Okay, so what do I think of the kit? Well, overall, I'm impressed. It's nice and simple. It's sturdy, especially with all these extra connectors that you can get that allow you to, you know, connect like these sections here. Now, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet. I may glue this gatehouse. I'm not sure. I'm certainly thinking of magnetizing the actual doors. I like that it's modular, and I like that you get lots of spares. So as you can see, and I've just talked about, I've created a taller tower. Not all towers and castles are the same height. You have some towers that are for watchtowers. Gatehouses were slightly different, and I feel this is going to give me a really good solid base now to start putting my own sort of little touches on it. I'm going to be converting and building maybe some latrines, some garderobes to stick onto the building. I'm going to use spares from all of the Wars of the Roses sets, things like these arrow bags, and have them sort of kicking around on the sides of things. You can't really see it there because I was stupid and turned it around, but you know, have stuff here that won't get in the way. Now, price-wise, things are... Well, let's just go through it. The wall sections are £12 each, but for every 2 walls that you get, you'll get a third out of that box. So these 3 walls here were £24. This gatehouse cost 12, so that's £36 for these bits here. The towers are 15 quid each, so everything you're looking at here was £66, with the addition of the connectors here that you need to connect those walls to the battlements, which are £6, so £72. Now, for a piece of scenery that's going to take up the whole corner of a battlefield and be quite a focal point, I don't think that's too bad at all. Certainly, if you were going to get the piece commission made, it would cost a lot more. You could make it yourself, certainly, you know, if you've got the time to do that, but you've got to weigh up what your time costs, and also materials as well. I'm really, really pleased with this. Now, it is fairly generic. If I had to sort of place this as a time period, it's a very sort of 13th, 14th century looking castle, which provides me with a really good base for the 15th century one that I want to basically make it look like for the Wars of the Roses, as that's that period you had sort of like the castles were moving towards residences, and that's effectively what a lot of them were doing. So if you look at things like Bodiam Castle, which was actually finished in the early 15th century, then you know, you start to move towards sort of more sort of stately sort of like homes, as well as being for defence. There weren't loads of wooden defences on castles. You will get things like hoarding, but this had started to get phased out during the Wars of the Roses because gunpowder just made a mockery of it. However, I am thinking about adding that. I'm also, as I've already said, going to add some garderobes, some latrines onto the sides, which will be a bit of fun. And I also want to add on sort of like lots of little bits and bobs to make the castle look lived in and used. I have some plans to use some of the Perry scenery kits, and maybe some of the other tabletop workshop kits as well. So that is the modelling side of things, at least for just getting the basic stuff done. Now, what I feel this has done, it's given me a really, really good basic template that I can now work off, and I can now build this out as I want, and I can add to it and put my own touch on things. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys found that interesting. I know a lot of it will have just been me sticking bits together. However, I wanted to sort of chart the progress of this in multiple videos. So the next video going to be looking at how I'm actually going to paint all of this, and then there'll be another video which will be on all of sort of like the additions and add-ons that I'm going to do, and you will be seeing this in a game sometime soon. So anyway, I hope you're all well. Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again in the next one. Cheers.